Welcome to the Lynn MA Sportscast. We're your hosts, Sean Donahue
and Caleb Reddick.
Caleb, this is our first show. We've never done a sports show before.
Nope.
We understand that it's a work in progress, and I'm looking forward to seeing both the improvements and struggles. But I'm still very excited.
As am I.
In the wild world of sports, in Lynn, Mass, currently Frazier Field is undergoing returfing. Caleb, you had mentioned something to me earlier today that was a little surprising. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, Sean. So they've been talking about taking away the national anthem before sporting events.
So national anthem, no more games, all the way from Pop Warner to professionals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they want to take it out of all sporting events completely.
Why would they do this?
Because they're classifying it as a war chant.
So they're saying that the national anthem is a war chant, therefore it shouldn't be sung before football games, basketball games, NASCAR, any of that stuff.
Yep. Do you know what the national anthem is to some people?
I mean, I know what it is.
Not even some.
I know what it is to me, but I mean,
so many people
definitely
across. Not even just the Northeast. Yeah.
The nation, the whole entire nation. I mean, the national anthem is America's tribute, and whether or not somebody decides to classify it as a war chant, I mean, who's to say that they're the majority over the rest of the Americans? To me, I don't think that it's fair. I think it's a traditional thing, and as Americans, you know, we deserve the right to speak up. So it is what it is. But anyway, let's tell you a little bit more about the show. Lynn MA Sportscast is a show which focuses on all sports in Lynn, Mass. This month, LETV will undergo some improvements, so we won't have all the bells and whistles, but some of the things that you can expect to see are player highlights, field reporting, interviews, and of course, the question of the week. Caleb, tell me a little bit about who we've got on today's show.
Oh, today's show, we jam-packed. We had to find chairs. We have, from Lynn English, we have Chris Tinkham, Lucas Harris, and from the Lynn Classical Rams, we have Brad Scuzzarella, Romario Lueden, and Devin Creighton.
Awesome. So we're jam-packed with football players.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously very pertinent now that the Thanksgiving Day game has ended. Not only just the Thanksgiving Day game here in Lynn, but the 100th match. And if you were there, I mean, the way that it ended was just
chilling. It
was amazing for some and just very disappointing for others. I'm a classical grad myself, so I was both hurt but very excited as a guy filming out there to see what had happened.
Well, you're standing on your toes the whole game.
Absolutely. You only had to pay for the edge of your seat. So we will also, right now, we're going to go to our field segment with Jessica Starbard. Jessica was down at the game, and we'll go to that field segment now.
It's a tale as old as time in Lynn. Every Thanksgiving morning, friends, family, and alumni head down to Manning Field to watch the annual Lynn Classical Lynn English football game. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the crosstown matchup, and whether you're playing on the field or in the stands, this tradition is more than just a game.
The Thanksgiving Day game has kicked off Turkey Day in Lynn since 1911. Dating back to the old Manning Bowl, the Rams and Bulldogs have played for the ultimate bragging rights in Lynn in front of hundreds of fans. Coach Peter Holy of Lynn English High School and Coach Tim Phelps of Lynn Classical grew up with the annual tradition as fans, players, and now coaches. We caught up with the two before the game to see what the Thanksgiving Day tradition means to them.
It's all about Lynn, really. It's all about what is the best of our kids, you know what I mean? Like, from the ROTC to the band to the cheerleaders to the football players, it's just fantastic. It's a great tradition. It's a great event for the city of Lynn, and it really is the best.
This one lasts forever. This one lasts for the rest of their lives. They're going to remember this. Whatever happens, they're going to remember this for the rest of their lives.
Even former players still remember their last Thanksgiving Day game.
05, we was playing. It was Manning Bowl. Last game at the Manning Bowl, Manning Field. And then we came down on Locust Street, and Gary Millay, my head coach, he said, strap it up. When he said strap it up, we was ready to go, and from there, we went out there and we beat Classical that night.
Off the field, the game marks a special place for fans to make lifelong memories with their fellow classmates or reunite with old ones.
That's why basically, it's not even really about the game. It's about coming here to see. It's like a big reunion, to be honest. It's like a big class reunion where you see people that you used to grow up with, people that are older than you, that you went to school with. You see like other family members that you haven't seen in a while. everybody just comes out on this day.
Fans were not disappointed this year with the score tied 6-6 in the fourth. Senior Brad Scuzzarella scored on a 6-yard touchdown run to put Classical on top with 3:13 left in the game. English was able to stop the 2-point conversion, which proved to be a pivotal moment in the game. On the following drive, Lynn English faced 4th and 19 at the Classical 28. Lucas Harris then threw what would be his most memorable touchdown passes of his career to senior Chris Lassard. A 28-yard piece of Lynn history tied the game at 12-12. Lassard himself kicked the extra point that would give Lynn English a memorable Thanksgiving Day victory. For Lynn MA Sportscast, I'm Jessica Starbird.
Welcome back. Here with me is Joe Skeadas, Athletic Director of Lynn Tech. Also supposed to be here with me was Maurice Cordy, head coach of the A Squad Westland Pop Warner team. Just want to mention a little bit about these guys. This is their 3rd consecutive year going to Florida to compete in the Super Bowl. That's huge. This is their 3rd year in a row. 4 of the players who are on the team are returning for their 3rd Super Bowl in Florida, Mass. I mean, it's amazing. It's incredible. As a football coach, you can't help but to think who is molding our younger players, and it's good to see that Maurice is doing a pretty good job. What do you think?
No, I think it's fantastic. I mean, they run a great program. I mean, I actually coached Pop Warner for a few years, and I played in Eastland, and to see how it developed over the years, these guys are doing a wonderful job. Amy Robinson, president, just a great leader. Very excited, especially go down to Florida. It's just tremendous. It's
a great experience for those kids indeed. You know, I even have a quote here from Maurice in the item when they had beat, I believe it was Hyde Park, 34-0. I'm not sure if that's indicative of what they've done all season, or maybe they just had a great game. But his quote was, "The defense ruled." And you know, as all the other football players in the nation know, offense wins games, defense wins championships. So let's talk a little bit about you, Joe. You're the athletic director over at Lynn Tech. There's a lot to that. Whether it comes to scheduling on top of scheduling, making sure that there are referees there, all the way to banquets, stuff like that. It's a full-time job, absolutely. So I'm sure you don't have too much time, but I appreciate you coming on the show with us today. Tell us a little bit about the programs, the winter sports over at Lynn Tech. Which programs are you expecting to have a great season this year?
Well, first of all, I'd like to wish you guys the best of luck in your new show. I'm very excited to be on the very first show ever. And it's great. I think you're going to do a great job with John Hoffman retiring. I think you guys will step it up, and hopefully you'll have 30 years to continue on like John did. As far as the winter programs go, you know, basketball, track, swimming, girls and boys, basketball actually. The girls program, we're very excited this year. We have a couple great kids, 3 great guards. Zulmari Gonzalez, Mimi is her nickname, MJ Jimenez, and Lila Neves. Great kids, great students, 3-year varsity players. Actually, Lila's a sophomore, her 2nd year playing varsity. And we're very excited for the team. As far as the boys go, Coach Avery actually had, I want to say, 70 to 75 kids out this year. Just amazing. He fills the gym up. And they don't start practice till 5, but he gets them all there early. And I give him all the credit in the world. Coach Avery does a great job.
Absolutely.
Our starting center, Gary Freeman, actually a culinary artist, a shop that I teach down there. Great kid. We're looking forward to watching him play this year. Rafi Lara, our starting quarterback, another great player. I think a fantastic athlete. And then Alan Minoso, a sophomore, just a wonderful kid, helps out with the programs. And it should be a good season.
Culinary arts, that's interesting to see. I mean, for me, in my day, the furthest cooking that we did was home ec. That was it. But at Lynn Tech, you guys offer a plethora of different types of courses, which I think is huge. It's very important. A lot of kids, they go to school, it's public, they go through the courses, bing, bang, boom. I mean, these kids graduate with a trade, a skill, and they're ready to work right out of high school. But culinary arts for an athlete who's a guy, it's impressive. Have you ever eaten anything he's cooked?
Well, I'm the culinary teacher.
You are the guy. So
I'm
you
the
cook
culinary
yourself.
teacher, athletic director, culinary teacher, absolutely. And our captain of our football team is actually in culinary arts, Nelson Lopez.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I love sports, love cooking. I mean, what athlete, look at these guys over here. I can guarantee you they love to eat, you know. And so why not learn how to do it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I got into trade early. Played football from Pop 1 all the way up through high school, loved sports. When I got the job at Tech, it was Jim Brown was the coach at the time. He offered me the position. So I started coaching football with him in 1989, coached football for 7 years. Then Jimmy Ridley got the basketball jobs, started coaching basketball with Jimmy Ridley, worked with him for about 6 years, took some time off while my children were being raised, and then I went back to sports, took over the track job about 4 or 5 years ago, and landed the athletic job about 4 years ago.
Okay, so you've been there for 4 years. You
As
cook
athletic director,
as the
yeah.
athletic director, but as a culinary arts
Since
teacher.
1989.
Since
About the same time
1989.
you were born, probably.
Yeah, and I'm an '85 guy, but
Alright.
yeah, no, I appreciate the love. Anyway, let's move on. This year, playoff football is a little different. Some are for it, some are against it. Now, the item has you saying that you had voted in favor for it. You thought it was a great idea for Tech and that it would end up being something that would benefit the team. Expand on that.
Sure, absolutely. In the Commonwealth Conference, we have an upper and a lower division. There's 5 teams in each division. We're in the lower division. The way it works before the playoff system, if you win the division, you move on to the MIA tournament. This year is a perfect example. North Shore Vogue, by far the dominant team. They come out, they win the first game, they beat us the second game. For all intents and purposes, after we lose to them, we have no shot. But with the playoff system, we still had a shot.
Yeah.
So what happened was Minuteman beat Chelsea, we beat Chelsea, and Chelsea beat Minuteman, and Minuteman beat us. It was a 3-way tie for second. Minuteman, Chelsea ended up going. But we still had a shot at going with this point system. Otherwise, and then once you get in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
get a break. And regardless, even being in the consolation bracket, we got to play Boston English, a team we would never play. We got to play, we went out to Marion, played at Framingham State. It was a great day for us. We won the game. And it was something that wouldn't have happened without this playoff system. So we voted for it, and I'm still in favor of it.
Still in favor of it. I know that's definitely something that's going to change as time goes on. I'm sure they'll add improvements. They'll take things away. But that's interesting. You guys won on the field at Framingham State. That's where I went. I went to Framingham State.
Yeah,
but we were
fantastic out
horrible.
there.
We didn't win a lot of games on that field, but I'm glad somebody from Lynn.
Oh, it's fantastic out there. I mean, the kids really enjoyed it. It's a great opportunity for them to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I always advocate to a lot of these guys that, Framingham State's a great school if you're looking for small, concise, professors who know who you are as opposed to just being a number. So a little plug for my alma mater. That's interesting. Definitely the playoff system this year, I think it will improve. I was for it. I was interested to see how it was going to work with playoffs were mid-season. But, it does. It gives teams who haven't played against other teams the opportunity to match up and athlete first athlete. So to this year, there's another rule that's being instated or has been instated, the transfer rule. I don't know much about it, and I'm hoping you could tell us a little bit more.
Sure. What happens is once a student plays a sport at a particular school or enters the school as a 9th grader, we'll just say Lynn Classical, and he plays sports at Lynn Classical, and then he transfers the next year to Lynn English. By the transfer rule, he has to sit out 1 year, which
So you transfer. So I'm a student at Classical, and I decide to go to English in the spring of my
Fall.
junior year. Okay.
Fall of your junior
okay.
year.
So fall of my junior year, I would have to sit out an entire year for all sports. It's not just one sport.
Correct. And all the kids know about it now. It's not a big deal. I think they're starting to understand it. The only problem is that we're having is there's a bit of a loophole. And there's actually a 4th high school in the city, which is Fetto Larry. And now what happens at Fetto Larry, they're not affected by this, which simply amazes me. That if a kid plays at Classical, we'll stay with Classical, and goes to Fetto Larry, the following year he or she doesn't have to sit out. They can pick any place they want to go. And that just, I can't understand why something hasn't been done about this.
Why wouldn't more schools operate like Fecto Larry? It's definitely something that you guys should look into. I appreciate you being on the show today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Ms. Skeadas, Athletic Director, Lynn Tech. Now we're going to go to the question of the week. Question of the week. Tweet your answers to our Twitter handle, Lynn Sportscast. The first to reply with the correct answer will receive a coupon for free pizza at Little Caesars. The question is, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick became NFL record holders for most regular season wins by a player and coach. Which player and coach held it before?
And welcome back. I'm Caleb Reddick. We got a jam-packed show today. We got so much time, so let's just dive into it. To the left of me from Lynn English Bulldogs, I got Chris Tinkham and Lucas Harris. And then to the far left of me, I got from the Lynn Classical Rams, Brad Scuzzarella, Romario Luiden, and Devin Creighton. All right, let's just get into it. You're Chris.
Of course.
You're a senior. You're varsity. What was going through your head before the Thanksgiving game?
I've been waiting for this moment my whole entire life. Senior year, it's a lot of pressure. We won the past 3 years, so trying to win that last game on Thanksgiving meant a lot to me. So, a lot of mixed emotions. Just trying to get my head in the game.
Good. Lucas, what was going through your head? You're a junior. You still got another year.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Well, we did have a rough season in the beginning, but we all came together in that last couple weeks of practice. We knew we had a big game, the rivalry 100th game. We knew it was going to be a historic game. We came together, worked as a team, and we got fired up for the game.
All right, back to Chris. On the offense, you're making big plays. It's a close game the whole game. Halftime, you go into the locker room. What's being said?
It's a lot of finish. Everybody always got to finish. Everybody got to do their jobs. Everybody's always trying to make sure that they get the next play perfect, trying to make sure that we can win the game, especially when it's close. It all comes down to little tiny increments of football.
Lucas.
Yep, we got to make adjustments for everything, offensively, defensively. We knew what we had to do, come out there, we had to get more fired up, and we got together, we came out, played hard.
All right, I'm going to take it over to Lynn Classical. Brad, you're a senior.
Yep.
What was going through your head?
It was a big game. Obviously, I knew it was my last game. I wanted to just try to go out and play hard with all my teammates. Hopefully, we could pull out with a win. And coming into this year, we were 0-3 on Thanksgiving. We just wanted to turn that around. We wanted to at least end out our senior year on a good note.
Romario, what was going through your head?
Well, I was waiting for this game since I went here from Breed. I knew my senior year was going to be the 100th game. So I knew, I had to give more than 100%. I had to give 200%. So, going into it, I was fired up. Made sure my whole team was fired up the whole way through.
Going into the locker room, it's a very close game. How do you get everybody fired up? How'd you do it?
Just tell them, look at the scoreboard. Just forget about that score. Tell them it's 0-0. So the game's starting all over again. Get as fired up as you just were. This was it started. Before kickoff, at practice, everything.
Devin, you're also a junior. You're a running back. You've been on varsity since freshman year. What was going through your head?
Going through my head, I was just thinking, my team, the senior year, I'm only a junior, just trying to help them win the game, do the best I can, hopefully win, but it turned out differently.
All right, back to Chris. What was going through your head? Third quarter, Classical just got a touchdown.
Third quarter, Classical just got a touchdown. Made a good effort on defense. A lot was going through my mind. A lot of emotions about if we were to lose, but the team pulled out. We just had to come back out on offense and execute. So that's pretty much what I was focused on, was making the next block.
Lucas, what was going through your head after Classical just scored? What were you thinking?
When they just scored, it was nerve-wracking. Looked at the time, there was only a couple minutes left, but I got together with the offense coordinator and we got the game plan going. We knew what we had to do when we got back out on the field.
How'd you motivate your players?
Got them together whenever I could. Told them what we had to do, and reminded them of the time. Got the seniors together, and did it for the seniors, all of us.
Brad, what was going through your head after you guys just scored?
Obviously, the score gave us momentum, so we thought that all we needed to do was just hold them, and then we could win the game. And I just thought, play by play, give it my all, and hopefully we can stop them, and hopefully we can pull it out with a win.
Romario, you're a linebacker. You got 4 stops. What were you guys thinking when you just sacked him? It was 3rd and long.
I know the defense was fired up, but I just wanted them to calm down just a little bit because they still had another down. We still had 4th down. See what happened.
Devin, you're a powerhouse, just running up the middle. How do you do that every time? What goes through your head?
How do I just get the ball, things in my head, try and get a first down or score every time? Either one. Run through everybody. Try to.
Lucas, 2 minutes on the clock. You throw that pass. What's going through your head?
Well, just before that, I knew how I got sacked. The pressure was there for a second, but then I didn't feel it when the play was going on. I did what I had to do. I saw Chris Assad in the end zone, threw it up there, great catch. It was the best feeling of the day right there.
Brad, they just scored, and then you guys go on offense. You had a weak recovery on the kickoff, and then they throw it down. You get 40 yards, and then you get a 30-yard, but it gets called back. What was going through your head?
That was obviously a big heartbreak. I mean, we thought that we had our momentum back. We thought that we had a chance. And then to turn around to look for Jordan, to congratulate him on the throw, I saw him sitting on the ground. And I knew right from there it was going back. And that just kind of killed all of our momentum. We only had, 4 seconds left on the clock after that. And it was just kind of it from there.
Lucas, what's Lynn English's philosophy on their offense?
Just pound. Well, we were throwing the ball in the beginning, but it was windy that day. Just pound the ball, get yards, do what you do. Hard work.
Romario, defensive captain, big guy over there. What's Lynn Classical's philosophy on defense?
Defense, just always get that big hit. Like, make sure they feel that hit that you lay on them. Like, make sure they don't ever want to run the ball ever again the rest of their life. That's your philosophy.
Chris.
Sir.
2 minutes left. You're giving out big blocks. What's going through your head?
What's going through my head is how our skill players are executing. You know, as long as I'm making my block, I'm doing my job. I gotta give it up to them for making the plays. You know, I don't need the credit for doing the dirty work because they're the ones running the ball. So I appreciate everything that they do.
Devin, how do they pick the captains over at Classical?
At Classical, well, it starts in the off season. Whoever's showing them
When does the off season start?
Right when football season's over, we just get right into it. Everybody's in the weight room, all working out. Whoever's in there the most, and show them that they want to be there and who's working hard and pushing other people to do their best.
Like July?
Nope, right after football season's over. The next day or like a week before after, that's when it starts. We just keep working
year
out.
Round?
Yep, year round for us.
Wow. What about over at Lynn English, Lucas? How do you guys pick captains? When do you guys start?
Right away. I mean, you gotta. They see who's being the leader out there, who's in the weight room right after that, right after Thanksgiving, right after that weekend that we have. Right when you're in there, they're showing leadership, working hard. They knew who to pick.
So is it a coach's pick or is it a team pick?
Yeah, I think it's a coach's pick. I mean, they know who's working hard, who's always in the weight room and like being a leadership, even in the classrooms, everywhere.
And what about Devin? Is it a player's pick or is it a coach's pick over at Classical?
Player's pick.
It's a player's pick?
Yep. Whoever we see.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good about we all in there. We see who's doing good. We see who's trying the hardest, and we just pick captains like that. Players.
Cool. Like I said in the beginning, we only have so much time, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up. And that's it from me. Now we're gonna move on to the top 3 plays of the week.
Welcome to the Lynn MA Sportscast Top 3 Plays of the Week. I'm Sean Donahue. This week in Lynn MA Sports, Thanksgiving Day football was the talk of the town, with cross-town rivals between Lynn English and Lynn Classical, as well as St. Mary's and Lynn Tech. Number 3, St. Mary's football. After a 3-and-out, the Lynn Tech special teams unit would punt the ball 52 yards downfield to pin the St. Mary's Spartans at their own 18-yard line. The offense would take the field, and on the second play, Connor Sakowicz, wearing number 5 from St. Mary's, would gallop down the field for a 78-yard touchdown run. The St. Mary's Spartans won the game 52-8. Number 2, Lynn Classical Football. Running back Brad Scuzzarello would have a 6-yard touchdown run to put the Rams ahead of the Bulldogs 12-6 in their Thanksgiving Day rivalry game. Number 1, Lynn English Football. English quarterback Lucas Harris would find his wide receiver Chris Lassard open in the end zone for a 28-yard touchdown pass. This score would tie the game up late in the fourth quarter. The English Bulldog special teams came out and made their PAT attempt in order to win the game 13-12. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in next week for all the up-to-date info in Lynn sports. For feedback, you can visit us at www.LynnCAMTV.com/shows/Lynn MA Sportscast, or you can go to our Twitter feed at Lynn Sportscast. Also, one of the things that you can do at Lynn Sportscast on Twitter, you can answer this week's question of the week. First person to answer correctly will receive a free pizza from Little Caesars.
Brought to you by Little Caesars.
Brought to you by Little Caesars.
What a place.
They have pizza.
Oh, yeah.
From Lynn MA Sportscast, we're your hosts. I'm Sean Donahue.
And I'm Caleb Reddick.
Wishing you all the best.
You're watching LynnCAM TV. Thanks for tuning in.
Perfect, buddy. Heck yeah! That's awesome!